Hey everyone, it's about 2 p.m. on the 4th of June here in Australia, and that means that winter has started, it's cold, it's dark, and it also means that the Australian Bureau of Statistics have just released the March quarter growth figures, and they are cold and dark too. So in Australia, we're seeing growth of about 0.2% in the March quarter, which is close enough to zero to say it's basically non-existent. In fact, that they're saying that we are in what's called a per capita recession, which means that if it wasn't for the immigration coming into the Australian economy would actually be in a recession at the moment. Now, if you take that fact and you combine it with the fact that our what's called trimmed mean inflation rate is 2.9%, which is just a sort of slightly different take on inflation, but it's the one that the Reserve Bank of Australia used to determine interest rates. It's at 2.9%. That is just at the very top of the allowable range of between 2 and 3%. It means that we're going to be in a strange situation over the next couple of months. So we're in a situation where growth is zero, inflation is 2.9%, interest rates are high, and basically what's going to happen is the Reserve Bank are going to keep those interest rates high over the next probably 6 or 12 months to get that inflation down from that very top end of the level that they're happy with. And that means that interest rates are going to remain high, which means that growth is going to remain stagnant, probably for the end of this year into 2026. So we've got a situation where we kind of know that our economic growth is going to be near as close to zero over the next 6 to 12 months. And maybe, hopefully, 2026, we start to see some actual economic growth happening. Now, the reason why I think it's important for a lot of businesses to understand that is because more businesses are going to fail in the recovery than they do in the actual recession or the downturn. And there's a very simple reason behind that. Most businesses, when they start, they're well funded, they kick along making a good profit for a couple of years, and then suddenly a recession or a downturn comes along and their sales drop off. And what happens is they actually have enough cash reserves to last for 6, 12, even 18 months with those sales dropping off, and they can continue their business. After 18 months, they start to struggle. After 18 months, that's when the cash runs out, and that's when people start asking, is this business still viable? Now, that's going to probably happen, unfortunately, before your sales tick up, before those market forces really come into play and the economy starts to really grow again. So we're going to see a lot of situations where businesses fail because simply they're making a loss and it doesn't become viable to stay in business. Now, you can certainly look at your sales and try and boost those. You can run promotions, you can order, hire great salespeople, you can do things like that. But it is going to be hard to boost your sales in a situation where the economy is very flat. The other thing you can do is you can look at the costs of your business. And this is the thing that too many businesses neglect. Looking at costs and genuinely looking at driving costs out of your business is actually a specialist skill set. A lot of accountants think they have it because they're good at adding up costs and things like that, but it's actually more complex than that. You've got to bring in procurement people, operational people, and actually all come together and really have a focus on where you can drive costs out of that business. Unfortunately, that's a specialized skill set, and that's where you need specialized people to come in and help you out. So guys, unfortunately, the next 6, 12, 18 months, we're going to see a lot of businesses go bankrupt. A lot of businesses just not being viable because simply their costs are too high, their sales are too low, and their sales are not going to pick up anytime soon. But if you are in one of those businesses that's going to be vulnerable to that, there is something you can do, and that's looking at your costs. And what I would say is the best way to do that is to engage some experts in cost management and cost control who can come into your business and really help you out. And if you need help with this sort of stuff, please reach out. This is what we do.